Hello, everyone. I welcome you all on behalf of Amdis Technologies to our last webinar in the Gen AI webinar series. I'm very happy today because we have reached the finale webinar in the series. We started with uh, walking through the daunting cost structures, followed by the context engineering, how to master it. Now that we are closing the loop, pulling it all together with data to decisions as the topic, building intelligent and scalable business systems that could drive action, that could drive real outcomes. So that's what our speakers will walk you throughout today. In order to do that, we have come up with a packed and focused agenda. We'll start with a quick recap to our earlier webinars, the first two topics that we have covered in over the 3 months. Then, the most exciting part, we'll unveil the first look to our very own Cloud FinOps agent, Amblu. We'll show you a live demo of it. Then, one of the key topic, one of the key techniques that helped our AI Center of Excellence team to slash down tokens drastically through SQL API. That's what we are going to see in detail from our speakers. Then, last but not the least, how combining two comprehensive solutions could unfold productive outcomes. Amblu and Cloud Caddy together, how it is going to benefit. So that's what we are going to have a look at it from the speakers. Let me welcome the speakers for today. Madhu Kumar, founder and CEO of Amdis Technologies, and Raksha Chandraskin from our AI Center of Excellence. Welcome you all.
Thanks, Indu.
Thank you, Sunil.
All right. So, with that said, let's quickly get into the Power Pack session for today. I welcome Madhu Kumar to start it.
Okay, thank you, Sindhu. I think to the audience, as Sindhu said, this is the third webinar. We had webinar 1 and 2. A couple of months back, we talked about fundamentals, the cost drivers, a little bit on the economics. But in the last webinar, we went detail into how to keep the business context in when you use generational algorithms, and what could be the levers for keeping the context engineering in a proper shape. And a very, very important topic, we looked at the risks of keeping too much context or too less, and then the benefits in terms of especially economics and the answers the model gives us. So with that, I thought today we will, as a team, show you our practical implementations of these ideas, concepts over the last 6 months to 1 year, I must say. We launched the agent, and the agent is working in production systems. So we will look at some of those ideas and topics. Okay, Sindhu, let's go into dive deep into our current webinar 3 focus. Okay, so Amblu is our web agent, which does focused training we have done on what we call it as cloud cost analysis. That means the agent works with data sets related to any enterprise infrastructure, cost, performance, and utilization data sets, as well as it looks at the fundamental FinOps.org terms and terminologies. So it is for a user or for someone who is on a day-to-day involved in doing technology business management. Within that, the cloud cost management. The users can use the product or the Amblu as an agent, a very simple, plain English ontology. They can use this product to analyze the usage patterns, look at cost breakdowns, and generate insights. The version which is currently in the market is doing not only comprehensive analysis, it does a bit of automation. For select environments with proper guardrails, we are able to do what I call self-remediating FinOps. We don't want to put the remediations into entire world of infrastructure. The guardrails are very important. So that way it generates insights. You allow the agent to configure it. It will do actionable work in terms of what should be done. Okay. If I go quickly look at for the audience how we have structured it, Sindhu, if you can put into the architecture, very structured. This plan we introduced into Amblu over multiple. I don't want to call it MCP protocols, but more of multiple agents, multiple configurations. So what's happening is right now, Amblu, the current version, which is part of our product 5.x, coming up into the market and in production has a supervisor agent, which looks at, hey, is the question from the user based on mathematical cost performance utilization or more related to the documentation, anything related to the materials, the answers, questions, related topics. So based on that, we will have the SQL agent kick in or the document agent kick in. And a bunch of indexing process, a lot of training has happened over the last 3 to 6 months. We've taken up models and trained them on the local data sets, which allows the product to give you informed but limited token usage responses. And the success rates are very fairly high in terms of inferencing. And for the automation side, we could implement it for at least the development boxes and the test environments, do a bit of self-remediations. So this is the overall architecture deep dive. And with this architecture, Sindhu, if you can move to the next one. This is an area I think every enterprise, every company, every organization like us, or even the leading providers are struggling with this. Hey, should we throw in all the data sets available and then do the training? Spend an enormous amount of money on the training cost. Then when you go down to the inferencing, you have to be careful on how do we keep the inference cost lower. In our world, for the audience, what you're looking at today in terms of FinOps, the biggest challenge is there are enough data sets which are what I call it the logs or the system logs, which can flow into millions of tokens, very quickly. So you need to feed the proper for training. Of course, you need to have higher data sets, but while inferencing, you can't have too many tokens being inputted, even though the input tokens cost is less and the output is the highest. You looked at in our earlier inferencing, and we were using a couple of other models too. We looked at different models, different pricing structures. So with all the things, brought down the context window overflow, then looking at the runaway cost, where the processing of the volume is not expensive, and try to limit the signal to noise ratio. There are some terms which I'm using today for the concept of showing you the product, but if you look at our earlier webinars, you will see all these terms completely explained. So with that, within the limited ways, we came down to creating this full-blown. It's a little bit crowded slide. I don't mind leaving it to Raksha. Would you like a couple of minutes to explain this to the audience, and then I'll come back and talk further. Okay. Raksha, all yours.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for explaining the biggest problem in cloud FinOps. So in the slide, we are going to see the core idea behind our solution for the problem that was explained by Mother Sir before the slide. So traditionally, cloud cost analysis becomes difficult because organization deals with huge volumes of raw CSV billing data. So multiple cloud providers like Azure, GCP, and AWS. So first step, what we are following is using Cloud Caddy. So which will be acting as a backbone for our agent. So what Cloud Caddy does is it usually convert the raw data into structured query-ready tables. So this formatting includes the data cleaning process, normalization process, schema mapping, and scalable storage, and proper tag and indexing. So this will make the data more reliable and ready for intelligent querying. So, and the next step is the let the LLM try, let the LLM translate. So the second layer is Amplio, our intelligent layer. So here user does not don't want to worry about doing the SQL queries. They simply ask the question in natural language like, so what is the total concrete cost for project airport terminal in January 2024 or your own projects? So Amplu will understand that business context, identify the correct tables, and automatically generate the optimized SQL queries. So this bridges the gap between business users and technical cloud cost data. And the last and final step is the generated SQL will run along across the cloud carry data. So the system will retrieve the accurate results and convert them into a human readable format. So for example, the answer will be like the total contract cost for project airport terminal is 22,300 USD. So beyond simple answers, the platform also provide cost breakdown, trend analysis, anomaly detection, budget monitoring, and optimization recommendation. So this helps the decision makers take immediate action. So I have to tell that instead of querying massive volume of disconnected cloud data, we focus on querying the business value, faster decision, lower cost, and smarter cloud financial management. So let me call Madhusar to take over the key advantages of Apple.
myself. Okay, sorry, my mic was muted. I unmuted it. Thank you. Okay. So you looked at the entire way, the architecture of our AmBlue generation. We looked at the architecture side of it, the way we are optimizing the tokens. The biggest exercise today in terms of using generational algorithms, uh, be it part of the Gen AI scope or the traditional AI, wherever there is open weighted models and the models are not closed, you are able to control it. At least you are managing the cost by the GPU structures. But if it is a closed weighted model, where we want to use all these federated APIs by Anthropic, Google, or anybody, then it becomes extremely important about to take care of token efficiencies. So from in our example, as you saw with the architecture, with the training, with the amount of work we have done over months and months, we brought down the token efficiency to almost 95% plus, to a level of 97% reductions on certain types of methodologies. There's definitely during the training, we could see the variations. And when in production, it's actually reducing the cost by phenomenal values. These numbers, what you're seeing is running for systems with a little bit on the AWS side, some on Azure, some on Google, all three systems, large set of data. So that literally brought down our cost structures for the enterprise or for running the models. The accuracy is improving day by day. That's why we could do a bit of self-remediating FinOps for development boxes as well as the test missions on very low-hanging fruits. If somebody by mistake create a resource, the AmBlue goes and deletes it or marks for deletion and let the user know that, hey, there is something running which you're not using. Earlier, we used to alert you, we used to monitor, send reports after a month. Today, the action is taken, but the action is informed to the users. So everything is traceable. They get the response very quick, but it has a context, it has a meaning, and the users can understand AmBlue acted for my benefit. So it's more of, you monitor, you manage, you act, and then you report. Okay. And the scalability and accessibility is two areas we are working on. It works for large size organizations as well as mid market. It's working within our enterprise very nicely. Accessibility is one area where any stakeholder can ask questions. Which data are you reading? Where are you working on it? So AmBlue will answer, oh, I use the logs, I use this. So it gives a phenomenal advantages of working through how a FinOps engineer works on a day-to-day basis. It becomes an extremely powerful conversational agent and an agent for getting them work done in terms of the operations and other things. Okay, so with that, Sindhu, if you can move to the next one, it's a simplified FinOps. While we call it simplified because it gives a very, if you take Cloud Caddy, it gives you the multi-cloud visibility, self-service analytics, the intelligence engine, the simulation, everything related to what I call mathematical model. And you also have this AMBLU, which works directly with generational algorithms, source data sets, as well as data sets which are created specifically for FinOps. You saw the very curated, extremely Gen AI ready data sets of FinOps for particular agent operations. And that allows you to do proactive automations where you can save the cost of spend as well as the cost of doing the automation. So both are controlled, both are giving lot of benefits to customers. Okay. And with that, I think Sindhu, I think you should push it to the last slide. Maybe you can keep it for your closing. I know Raksha has a small demo for the team. I know we have 10 minutes left, maybe a couple of transactions, couple of users. And then, Sindhu, all the best. You can close the call. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you, Madhu. Thank you for a quick and powerful session. Raksha, yes, please share your screen and it's open for you for the demo.
Okay.
So the last, while Raksha is sharing the screen, the last slide that we have put on here is to diagrammatically show you how combining Cloud Candy and Amblu together can unveil dramatic results.
So I hope you could see my screen, right?
Yes, Raksha, it is loading now.
Okay. So it's our one of our demo site. So let me ask. So this is where Ambler is, and let me ask a question like, what was our spend last month? So Amplu will provide you a detailed structure of the cloud spending by our own company, and it also provides the optimization opportunities and what the details you might need it for cloud optimization techniques. So other than this, I'll also ask questions like for particular date. So let me ask for 26th. What was my cloud spending on 26th April? So it provides that for AWS, it uses 59.5% of data, and for GCP 4.76. So as you could see here, for 26th, GCP is 4.68. So exactly it will be querying from our database. So this is how it works, like for our SQL agent, how it will be working. So if the question is related to internet data cloud cost, it will redirect it to SQL agent and the answers will be queried from the table. So if you want to use uh, doc agent, that means if you are giving some document, I will share your demo. So I will upload a document about FinOps Foundation, uh, or just a document about Pluto. It will be a little bit fun, right? So Pluto, so the document will be chunked within our environment and it will be uploaded. So Amplo is not purpose to answer this general kind of question, but if I shift to doc agent, it will answer this question too. Who discovered Pluto? So it replies that it is Cloud FinOps agent, so it cannot answer this question. So if I ask the same question to with use doc agent, uh, wait a sec. So it take the answer from the document, that is Clyde Tampergon discovered Pluto on February 18, 1930. So it was exactly the same as the document I have provided. So this is what I have to share. Thank you for this opportunity.
All right. Thank you, Raksha. Thank you for the cool demo. So, audience, now that you have witnessed how it could effectively bring the cloud cost optimization results within seconds, so we have come to the end of this webinar and the webinar series itself. Let me take a moment to thank you all for your continuous support and participation throughout our webinar series. We thoroughly enjoyed all the conversations before and after the webinar, the queries, and all that. We are coming up with a lot of engaging and thought provoking sessions in person and online throughout this year. Stay tuned with us. Do follow our company page, Amless Technologies, on LinkedIn, or you could reach out to any of us, Madhukumar, Raksha John Ruskin, or Sindhu Priya, to answer all your queries in and around the webinar series topics. Stay tuned for more interesting events coming. With that, thank you so much. Hope all the strategies that we have shared so far will help you in taking your Gen AI vision on slide to reality. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thanks, Indu.
Thank you. Thank you.